Hey guys, I just wanted to play this gentleman's series of dreams and visions. Now, he had these back in, I think, 2007, and then he did an interview on True News. I think it was around 2011 or 2012. And these really hit home. Like I said, I listened to these years and years ago, but they've really been coming to mind lately in light of current events. Like he was talking about things long before Donald Trump and all of this controversy and all of that. But he was talking about border problems and invasions coming from our southern coastline. And it's just very detailed. And I know a lot of people, they don't want to hear about prophetic dreams and visions. And you know what? I just don't care. I'm over it. You need to take heed of this stuff because God is warning us. And I believe this guy. I really believe this guy was hearing from the Lord because so much of what he saw was also what I was shown in a series of dreams and visions that I received starting back in 1999. And you can go and check and make note when he's telling his story. Here's mine. Here's one I put up in July of 2015, End Time Dream Vision about ISIS attack on the American interstates. And in there, I talk about also how they went to the police stations at the same time. So we knew that the police weren't coming to help us. I described the interstate attacks and what we did, how we banded together out in the country, and we had to fight like old times, like Revolutionary War. All the young guys came together and everybody who had their shotguns and their guns, and the older guys were like the generals, and the military weren't coming. We knew that this attack was across the United States and the military weren't coming and the police weren't coming, that they had taken over the police stations and the military bases and stuff, and we knew it. And it's weird because that's exactly what I saw. And listen to what he says he was shown back in, I think it was like 2007 when he received his, and through I think 2011 or 2012. And then here's another one that I posted this in July of 2015. That's really when I kind of started talking about this stuff, because I faced, as you guys know, if you've had these types of spiritual experiences, you face a lot of resistance and persecution and rejection and all of that. Even if you go to the church, I went to the church when mine started happening, and I was like, this is awesome. And I found out in about 2 seconds, and about, I don't know, 45 different churches that they were like, shut up, you know, we don't believe you. God's not really alive. None of us hear from God, you know? So I was like, okay, all right then. But anyway, here's another one that I had back in the late 90s, 99. This was actually like the second vision I ever had. Mine went on for several months. It was like almost like he says happened to him. It was like a visitation from the Lord where the Lord schooled me. I had a voracious appetite. I was just consuming the Bible when before my whole life I'd tried to pick it up a few times. It didn't make any sense. I didn't care. I couldn't read. I just couldn't get into it, and laid it down. But during this period, I was on fire. I couldn't get enough. It all made perfect sense. It was epiphanies after epiphanies, and the Lord was with me. The Holy Spirit was with me, was training me up. And during this time is when I also received a series of dreams and visions they were all about the end times, and they all went together. And anyway, this one, Dream Vision, Nuclear Attack on American Major Cities Bombed, that one was 4 or 5 coordinated attacks, just like he said. I saw that they went off literally within seconds of each other. And then this is another one. This is about the holiday, dreams and visions about holiday attacks, like around Black Friday and stuff like that. Now, these aren't all mine, but I just have a thing in my spirit that I believe there will be mall attacks on Black Friday. I don't know what year. You can see I posted this in 2016. So I don't know what year all of this will start, but I felt that way when I saw the interstate attacks. I felt that it was happening over a holiday season because there was a ton of people on the highways, on the interstates traveling, and we were in the car as a family traveling to see family. So anyway, I believe this guy, and so much of what I have seen is what he's talking about. So I hope you guys take it to heart, at least consider it. Take it to the Lord in prayer. I love you guys. God bless you and your families.
Jack, you sent to me an email. You started having a series of dreams, I guess, in April. The email that you sent to me was dated April 22nd.
Yeah. It was actually, the dream started in February of 2007. I had the dreams for February. Now, this is almost every night for February, March, and then on April the 22nd, that's when I dated my report. I thought it was the 17th, but it was the 22nd. I got up and wrote the dreams down, and I quit having them. I've had this in my possession for almost 5 years now. Each dream, I would see the same scene over and over again, but I would be standing in a different position where I could see more of what was going on. I have been having what appears to be a series of dreams. They all seem to be related. The dreams themselves are repeated several times. When this happens, I see more details. So far, I have had a dream involving Spanish workers mowing and cleaning the entrances to military bases. Don't know what base it was, don't know who the people were, though, okay? Another of arriving flights from Central and South America. Another of the highways being blocked and still another dream. I saw ships arriving in U.S. ports, offloading military supplies. I also had dreams of crowded malls and hospitals and police stations and police substations. All these dreams are related, and I feel that they are all happening at the same time. What I'm seeing in my dream is an event that's happening entirely all the way across the United States, the southern United States, simultaneously in different time zones, and they've got it timed down to the exact minute for everything to start. I feared the time may be the day after Thanksgiving because in March I felt that the dream may happen on Easter Sunday, but it passed. And if you'll think about it, Easter and Thanksgiving are the two longest holidays that we have every year where the soldiers would leave their bases. Thanksgiving is the one that they will travel up to 400 miles away to go home to visit their families, leaving approximately a third of the soldiers on the base to guard it. And then with the crowded malls and stuff, the only real day that I could see this actually happening was the day after Thanksgiving, because being, Black Friday, and their brothers in the malls. And if you're going to start something, you want to make a real statement. The malls on a crowded day after Thanksgiving is the day to do it. That's what I saw in my dream. And then the Spanish workers I seen cleaning up the military bases. What I saw was the workers were cutting, what they looked like they were doing was cutting the grass. But when they got up close to the lawnmower was running, but there was no blade underneath it. So they reached under a running lawnmower and pulled out a machine gun, took out the guards on the gate, and then put their gate guards on the gate, let the people that they wanted onto the military base and block the traffic. Now, they didn't do this to try to take over the base, but by putting the soldiers on there, and the troops being away from the base long enough, it gave them time to block access to the armories that are on the base and the ammunition and the rifles, delaying a retaliatory strike kind of deal, okay, and giving them time to put what they've started more into position. And when they took control of the gate, their goal in the dream was not to take over the base or attack the base, but to go in and simply block the armories. And so when the soldiers were called up, they run out to the armories to get their weapons and their ammunition. They can't get to it. They're blocked for several hours until they get a response team in to retaliate. On the arriving flights, it was like a flight coming from Central America with no children and no old people on board the plane. They were all of military age and or military bearing. And as they deplaned off the airport, in an international airport, the first thing they have to do is they go to baggage claim, you get your baggage, and then you go to customs. And in my dream, I saw one or two people give them the papers, and they allowed them in. And then finally, they challenged one guy, so they said, "Let me see your bag." And when he opened it, man, it was full of all their weapons and everything they need to do what they did. And that's when gunfire broke out. And within like 15 to 30 minutes, the entire airports along the central South American area were under their control. And I sat through a Homeland Security briefing recently. They said that there's thousands of people of questionable origin coming across the border in mass. and you're looking at anywhere from 20 to 40,000 per month coming across, and it's a scary number. And if only 10% of those, only 10%, were actually military, and they're coming here as a sleeper cell, that's a lot of people.
So they took over all the airports along the southwestern border.
Yes, sir. From Florida all the way to California.
The whole southern border.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now the revolutionaries are in control of the airports on the southern border of the United States. They have disabled military bases inside the USA. What else did you see in these dreams?
There are ships that were already docked at the port, ready to offload cargo. The manifest did not match the cargo. The cargo was carrying more of their weapons and supplies, and they basically established a port beachhead at our U.S. ports in just a matter of minutes because of the control they were able to pull across.
Now, did you see this in each of these things happen in different dreams?
Yes, sir. It was a series of dreams.
Did you believe the Lord was showing you something that was going to be a coordinated strategy that would take place simultaneously?
That's a fact. That's exactly where I saw it. And if I had seen just the first dream and not another dream, I would have never, ever been able to put any of this together. But because it was a series of dreams, I saw the same recurring things over and over and over again, and from different perspectives. And then I could start analyzing it and putting it together as to what I was seeing. And the disturbing part was how they actually, when you get a city like the size of the city of Houston, and this is where, in my dream, because I know the city of Houston, I used it as a reference point. But if you put, like in the city of Houston, 45 north at the San Jacinto River, 59 north at the San Jacinto River, and Interstate 10 east and west at the San Jacinto River, if you simply cause a traffic jam at any three of those locations, you have shut down the southern part of Texas completely. Nothing's going to go north, east, or west, just from those three choke points. And I saw in my vision people going from car to car, mercilessly just shooting people in the cars and causing mayhem on the highway, blocking traffic. This shuts down any kind of military traffic. People being recalled back to their base, they can't get back. Civilian authorities with ambulances and police departments, the traffic's so bad they can't get in and out now. It just shuts down our economy.
While the traffic is stopped at these choke points, there are armed men going from car to car,
shooting people,
shooting the passengers.
Yes, sir.
Could you see who the people were that were doing the shooting?
In my dream, I assumed that they were of Middle Eastern descent.
These were not Latinos at this point. These are Muslims now.
No, yes.
But in the beginning, it was Latinos who helped take over the military bases.
That's right.
But the shooting was being carried out by Middle Eastern people.
That's what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And the area shopping malls, the same people were walking into like a mall, like Katie Mill Mall, and they just went in each door. And all they did is had a little bag around their neck and started pulling pins on grenades and rolling them into the crowd. And this wasn't just one mall. This was every mall, every hospital, every emergency room, every police substation. They were all simultaneously attacked at one time. And it left the United States in a very vulnerable position within just a matter of hours.
So it was a well-coordinated military attack inside the USA.
Yes, sir. You got to understand from my point, when I was having the dreams, I had no idea what I was looking at or what I was seeing. And then after I got to looking at what I was dealing with, I've actually talked to military leaders, and I've explained to them what I saw, and they just, their thoughts were, there's no way this could happen. And I'm saying, yes, there is a way this is going to happen. You know, you go around telling a whole bunch of people you had this kind of dream as long ago as it was, they look at you and you start feeling like a quack. And it hadn't happened yet. I keep praying that it's not going to happen, but I keep planning that it is going to happen, and that's all I can do. I feel like I'm a watchman on the wall, And I am sitting here screaming at the top of my lungs, and I have told people what I have seen, what I see coming, and they have like folded their arms and sat down in their lawn chairs and they're sitting back drinking their little iced tea thinking, you're crazy, this ain't going to happen. And I have jumped up and down to the point now to where I have stopped